Hello everybody, we're talking about a Valkyr build today, but it is wrong. Now, I did break a rule that I put in place for this series, and I am actually using a meta subsume here in Roar. However, because I'm replacing Hysteria, I figured it was fine because we are replacing Hysteria. Surprise! I'm making this because two reasons. One, I wanted to prove a point, and two, I was told that she was going to be losing build variety, and I got told that a lot, in fact. Well, here's the proof that she isn't. The rest of her kit exists now. Previous, it wasn't really anything aside from Hysteria. You could argue you could build builds around her 2 and her 3, but they were extremely subpar compared to other options or even her own kit, so this is a status build. Essentially, it is a max range build built around her rip line. What it does is it groups enemies up. We're using the Bow Prime Incarnate, and we're using Roar to double dip on the statuses, and our Warcry and our 3 to apply damage vulnerability to enemies that live. Now, if you're noticing, I barely actually cast her 3 because enemies kind of just die. That is intentional. The higher level you go, the more enemies will need that damage reduction, or damage vulnerability, I mean. However, she is insanely strong now. You'll notice I don't have any survivability in this kit, and I never cheat death a single time. I wasn't intentionally shield gating. My Dirga does have Guardian on it, however, it's not enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. She just is tanky baseline, as long as you're killing enemies, which from my testing I believe it's 5 kills to reset her passive cheat death, which is really easy to do. We're using the Bow Prime Incarnate here because it has the highest base status chance of any melee in the entire game. And my build gets up to close to 700% status chance. I will have a short about that in the next couple of weeks, but it is a severely underrated weapon. So we are using an underrated weapon with a frame that was told to be bad after the rework. And we're proving both of those things wrong. I'm using 2 strength shards, 2 parkour shards, and 1 cast speed shard. Literally all of that is not necessary. Parkour is obviously just for taste, and I like moving fast, so I put them on her. And I think she genuinely will be one of my more played frames now. She is insanely fun, and I just can't get enough of her. Now, the build relies very heavily on range. We're using Fury, which we can swap out for extra melee damage. We're using Eternal War, but again, also just replaceable because of the way it is. She can just recast Warcry now, it doesn't really matter. Our energy is all in equilibrium, however, I don't think she needs that either. Brief Respite is just kind of nice here and also can be replaced with just something like melee damage. I don't know, this build is incredibly replaceable. I bet you that you could use negative strength and it would work. It is so strong that I can't see it not just killing enemies at any level. It is really good. I also think it is exactly on par with her current claws build. But melee influence is that strong, so her claws are not great at using melee influence, I mean. However, this weapon is a prime user of it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this Valkyr but wrong. Remember that these are not fully optimal builds. They are built for fun and to try things that are not along the meta of the frame that they're being put on, so take these all for a grain of salt, or don't build them at all. That is up to you. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one, and enjoy!